To reading Reddit stories with me, I guess. This is my first time doing this, so don't judge me on my qualities or skills. Okay? Okay, I'm recording on a different tablet, and I'm using this beautiful broken tablet to record this. So, let's get right into it. Okay. This first one, my dad, 60M, is adding something to my food that makes me sick. 25 male. I, 25 male, was suffering from bloating, vomiting from November 2024 after 4 months of consulting with 15 different physicians, 3 endoscopes, and multiple tests. They arrived at the diagnosis with Crohn's with After the diagnosis, they found that I had become intolerant to rice and potatoes. My mom and grandma understood that the disease after I explained it to them. My dad was that this was not a disease, and all because you ate a lot of lemons 3 years ago. Completing the meds, they avoided the specific trigger foods, rice, potatoes. I went into remission. So far, how does lemons have to do anything with this? I'm so confused. Lemons? You ate a bunch of lemons 3 years ago and you're dying? Okay, Dad. Okay, Father. Around 2 weeks back, I had a flare-up, which kept on increasing in severity every day. Me and my mom saw my dad adding something like powder to milk before I drank it. There was no taste or odor change in the milk. We had suspicions that he was also adding something to the salt and sugar in the kitchen, so I stayed in my granny's place for a few days. During this day, I had no symptoms, not even pain or bloating. Meanwhile, my mom threw away everything that was suspicious and bought everything new. I returned back home, and we were being very careful in locking everything in the kitchen, ensuring we only have access to them. After doing all of this, I feel better, and we have seen my dad trying to pry open things we locked. So your dad is quite literally poisoning you. Like, if you gave somebody peanuts, right, and who are allergic to peanuts, that's poisoning people. Like, doing it on purpose. Well, it's not real. What? There are 2 things that bothered me during this time, which may not be related. Just 2 days before my flare-up, I informed that I got selected for Masters in Europe, and my dad and older brother hated that we were against it. When I said I will be going there, he replied, "Something unexpected may happen, and your plan might fail." That's definitely related. I'm just saying. I feel like that's definitely related. But it's just me. Before this recent flare-up, there was an incident where, like this time, my dad was doing something in the kitchen. My dad never uses the kitchen. I took a sip of the milk. Later, and there was a strong taste of rust. I threw out the entirety and didn't think much of it. I asked about this issues on r/Crohn's disease around 10 days prior and intended to publish this story here, but I couldn't. Here's the events that happened after that. I forgot to lock the jar of cookies inside of the cabinet, ate them the next day, and got sick again. Dude, your dad's trying to kill you. There's an update, because this is r/best Redditors update. So I just have to keep my hopes up that there is an update and the dad dies. My mom's coffee tasted weird multiple times, and she also got sick after drinking it too. My dad broke into the kitchen, locked the cabinets and the refrigerator. We replaced all the things and shifted them to Granny's home. Granny's home. And my mom and I are traveling to my granny's home for every meal. We also are suspicious of my brother, who knows about this and chooses to ignore as he visits our home and avoids eating anything at our home. We are taking careful steps to confirm these. I do not want to get into too much detail, but we are trying to get solid evidence before doing anything further. Let me know if I'm overthinking or what steps I should take next. I feel very unsafe, emotionally drained, and I just want to make sure I'm not losing perspective. No, I originally posted this on r/relationships advice, but it was removed. I'm sharing it here. I still need support, and this has been very real and painful. This is an update, I think. Where this is? Okay. I, 25 male, got into this Dream Masters by my own efforts on April, despite my health issues. The tuition for this program is actually very minimal, which is rare for international master's programs. I was told everyone close to me started with my parents, elder brother, friends, close relatives, aunt and uncle, and professors from my bachelor's. My dad, 60M, was initially open to me going there, but changed his decision after taking my brother. He had told me he would likely won't be able to go there because he changed his decision as soon as talking to him as my brother. He told me likely wouldn't be able to sponsor my master's, so I applied to scholarships and was following up on it. I applied for an education loan. My elder, 30M, was totally against, saying he didn't like it and said, Are you going to beg in the country? Are you going to beg in that country after doing this degree? My mom and relatives on her side, granny, uncle, aunt. We are totally overjoyed and love that I was able to get in the master's. Professors and professionals in my field, it was a great opportunity and that it would benefit my career. I was working through all the administration's process and stuff by myself till today. My mom and relatives provided moral support during this time and also tried to explain to my dad and brother that this is a good opportunity for me. Okay, get it? This is a good opportunity for you. And I feel like whoever's trying to dig you down while you're trying to get this thing to get your life fulfilled, and people are like, no, thank you. It's like, why you gotta be so controlling? Don't listen to your dad, okay? Because that's what I do. I don't listen to my dad. Yesterday, my brother showed up unannounced to our home and made my mom stay in my granny's home, stating that he and my dad wanted to talk to me alone. They told me I was in the wrong to inform my close relatives about masters and demanded me to update on the progress till now. I told them everything, including the education, loans, and scholarships I have applied. They started nitpicking of the course details and trying to find any fault in the program, but everything was well detailed and had no issues. They told me whatever I did, unless useless, everything was detailed. They told me whatever I did was useless and did nothing in these 2 months. They told me I wouldn't be getting a scholarship or the loan realistically, nor do they have the money to spare for my studies. They made it clear that they will not be helping me in this process further. But I still want updates daily and made it clear that they will not help with the process any further, but still want updates daily and need emails I receive related to my loan /scholarships /universities. Forward to both of them. Instead, wanted me to do my master's in the state next cycle/year. They told stop living in it. I'm guessing it says they told me to stop living in a dream. Stop living in a dream, and accused me of being selfish and not thinking of the family or anyone else. So, am I the a-hole for giving updates or not letting anybody inference and fear in the program after this incident? For context, I was so lucky to have completed my bachelor's with almost full scholarship with few minor expenses covered by my dad. I had moved back to my parents' place, and the money I saved up after that was spent very recently on medical expenses. I made it very clear that I wanted to do my bachelor's in this field. The master's program I got into is not available anywhere nearby, not even nearby states. So that means that they'll probably have to move or go into different community homes. So forgot what they're called, but you know what I mean. Like, they have to move in with other people, have roommates and stuff, instead of moving there. Side note, there's also separate and very serious situations happening at home that made me feel unsafe. I've made separate posts about this, so I won't go into it here. Verdict. No official verdict given, but was anonymously not the a-hole in the comments. Hi everyone, I'm sorry it took me a while to update. These are my previous posts for context. Shows the posts. I've been reading and replying to some of these comments, but I wanted to share what is happening since my last posts. What's happening since my relatives say that I shouldn't meet him to secure my inheritance, legally mine, because it could help me in the future. I should meet with him. So what they're saying is they should meet with their dad, I'm guessing, to get the inheritance, which is legally his, because it can help him in the future. Mom to get me to talk to him. My mom is relocated without telling my dad or father. I cut off all calls and messages. We couldn't gather much evidence except for a white powder in our plates, a microphone hidden under my mom's bedroom dresser. What? Okay, one day we moved in. I drank water from our house. 2 days later, I had bleeding from my nose and mouth. Blood tests show that both my mom and I have elevated, most identical levels of sternum and tuum and vademolum. Don't know what that means, but our family doctor said the bleeding wasn't from those metals, but likely from an anti-congestion. From rat poison? Rat poison? In your water? I moved between friends. How is this? They're getting poisoned? Presumably by their father. And not... Police? Hello? And then the doctor just let them go home, like, you've been poisoned by rat poison, but you can go home. I moved between friends' places and to recover and took the antidote for the anti-congestional poison. Rat poison. There's different types, but rat poison is horrible for you. Since I moved, my scholarships and education loans were both canceled, and I almost certain through his influence. My mom gave me her savings, which would cover most of my degree. Dad has been telling me his relatives are sad for not talking. The relatives are sad for not talking to your dad. butted around the corner. Anywho. What? Anyways, I'll never forgive my dad, but the inheritance and significance and could make a huge difference in my life. I've spoken to lawyers, police, and my dad has ways of wiggling out of legal trouble. Oh, wait. I skipped way forward. I'm so sorry. Sad. My aunt and uncle, mom's side, who knows the truth, confronted him. He admitted to poisoning me and claimed it wasn't meant for me. They also asked why he wasn't financing my master's. He said that he felt guilty and would fund it if I talked to him. So you attempted murder. The police did nothing. And you're just, I feel a little guilty, so you better talk to me, please. Who do you think you are? Who? Why? What? When? Where? What the fart nugget? Okay. My dad is calling me and texting me now. I wanted to... this is his text. I wanted to see you or talk finally last. Understand my position if you cannot see any more later. I will never forgive my dad, but the inheritance is a significant and could make a huge difference in my life. I've spoken to lawyers, police, and my dad has ways of wiggling out of legal trouble. Do I just talk to him, get part of my inheritance, and then cut contacts? Or is this even too dangerous of a risk? Honestly, might be possible, especially if you're in like a smaller town. Police might actually be able to meet up with him, or with a lawyer, meet up with him while you're there, just to make sure that you're safe. That's what I would personally recommend. Wait, is that the end? Okay. What I would personally do in this situation to get your inheritance, because I guess you can't really do anything else about this, I would just personally get a lawyer or police to be with you, or like a bunch of friends to be with you while you're signing the inheritance, or getting the inheritance, whatever it's happening. I don't know exactly what's happening, obviously, but I feel like it should be possible to get people around you, such as police, lawyers, or friends. Maybe. I feel like that would, I don't know how long ago this post was made. 3 months ago, so I don't know. I guess we're going to the next one. I don't know. That's insane. Your dad is poisoning you and the police are like, we're so sorry that happened to you. We're so sorry. Oh no, you're attempted murder. Huh? Okay. On to the next one. I ruined my parents' relationship over reading mail. Reading their mail. They ruined their entire... Well, did the parents actually ruin the relationship, or one of the parents ruined the relationship and you just ended up finding out? Or did you read the mail and like thought your dad was cheating or something? Like, did you actually ruin it, or did your parents ruin it and they got caught? Like, let's see. Okay, I, 24 female, don't want to say anything I do for work, but let's just say I have the type of job that includes a lot of written letters from clients that were supposed to be confidential for only my eyes. So I'm guessing therapy, being a doctor. I'm fresh out of college and living with my parents, so I can finish paying off for school. My work letters of courses go to my parents' address since they live miles away from a post office, and driving to a P.O. box is a huge pain. The issue starts with my father. Ever since high school, whenever I received mail, my dad would open it. When I received birthday cards, in the money. My dad would have me hand over the card and insist he'll keep the money safe for me until demanded he hand it over. Any package I would order for myself, he would open it and hand it to me. Sometimes these products used by him as well. The final straw was when I decided my acceptance letter to my dream college. Instead of waiting for me to come home to open it, he opened it himself and called me while I was at work, congratulating me. What do you mean? What? That is like comically evil. What the fuck? Oh my god. Okay. I've spoken to my mother about how much this makes me feel uncomfortable, and she said to me she'd speak to my father about it, to which he would apologize and not do it for a week before doing it again next week. I had also spoke to my dad about the confidentiality of the mail I would be receiving from now, that my work, and he says that he'll understand, but it all came crashing down a few weeks ago. Damn. Okay. While I was working, my dad had came into my room and handed me an opened envelope from my client, and even tried to have a conversation about it with me. I just ignored him until he got the hint and left. What do you mean? Confidentiality? And just being like, I'm gonna read it. What? Okay, moving on. After work, I yelled at him for violating client's confidentiality, to which he got and said that I live under his house and any mail sent to his house would be opened or be read by him. You said you understood. You said you were going to stop. And then you're going on being like, I'm going to read it anyways. It's going to have somebody's entire life story about how they want to kill themselves. But I'm going to open it. And I think it's confidential. Yes, queen. No, queen. Okay, moving on. Dad noticed the mailbox was empty. I ran back into the house, as white as a ghost. He walked into the kitchen to see me and my mom in the kitchen reading his mail. Before the fight could start, my mom asked me to leave the house, so I drove to my aunt's house 45 minutes away and explained everything. Back 2 days later, when my dad's stuff was gone, my mom told me my dad's living in a hotel and would be in contact with a divorce attorney. Patty, my dad did the same thing. He went to a hotel because he sucks doo-doo cheeks. Turns out, my dad has been having an affair with a family friend, and we're hiding it through letters to leave no digital footprint. You dumb. I love dumbasses like this. You deserve it. Dad ended up showing my mom the stash of letters he had, and she took photos of each and every single letter before she had asked him to leave. I feel at fault. Girly pup, you feel at fault? For what? You should be glad that you found out for your mom, instead of your mom being like living in like a horrible relationship for like years. Okay, queen? Years. She probably would have been in that relationship for way longer than she should have. Petty with my dad, but unraveled into a huge event. Made me think of, I wonder why he's been looking through my stuff. He himself away. It shattered my mom's world, since I can hear her cry every night about this incident. Girl, it's not your fault. It's your dad's fault because he cheated. This would never happen. This is like the same thing my dad did. He would be like, let them be kids. Let them be kids. They don't need to know that I'm dealing drugs. Yeah, looks like candy. If I got a hold of that. Okay. So there's a reason why my mom told me, so in case I ever encountered these drugs, I wouldn't take them because the court ordered us to be at his home. So, it's not your fault, Queen. Okay? The post was edited onto the original post. Thank you all so much. I wrote this all last night, drunk off my mind, and I would never expect so much kindness from strangers. I'll go ahead and read a few questions, or answer a few questions, and then I'll give an update. Was my dad using money for the gifts to buy his stuff for his mistress? I'm 50-50 on this answer. I received cards when I was young with the money, and was the same routine. Aunts and uncles would leave $100 per card, and my dad would always give them to me, and believe my dad would give me back half of the money from these cards. Baby girl, half of 100, and he just... Imagine like being so excited one year, I'm gonna get myself this really expensive thing that I've been wanting forever, and your dad's like, have back half the moolah. Girl, what? Okay, when I was younger, as I got older, obviously he reduced the money to 20 to 40. I do believe my dad would give back half the money, cards, and which would make sense as how he was able to make huge expenses on his mistress. I needed to collect proper evidence, so I plan on calling my aunts, uncles, and relatives who would send money. The mistress would send letters addressed as business or credit card companies. If you would ask me, they would be doing the most. When my mom would check the mail, she would see the letters that were addressed to my dad as bills, or some crazy BS, and never the mistress as well, which is why he went through my packages and didn't want to imagine what kind of crap she was mailing him. Now for the update. Like I said, this was a few weeks ago since it happened. I've been doing my best to comfort my mom. Forgive. My dad constantly appeals to my mom and apologizes and begs to you know what I mean. I've been here to listen to her, and she keeps on spiraling between wanting to forgive him and cursing him to hell. I told her my own personal opinion, which I would never take back a cheater. She basically everything for him. She couldn't see it was as her not being good enough for him. That's so sad. Girl, your mom needs a hug. Saw it as her not being enough for him. That's her fault for that's his fault for not appreciating her. The mistress was also a married woman. My mom reached out to her husband, sending him letters and sending her the photos of the letters that she had saw. Even had a phone call with him about what was going on. He initialed for a divorce, and the mistress was now angry at my father for not being more careful. Or just don't cheat. If you really want this person, ask one for an open relationship if y'all are both comfortable with that. Or just break up. Or, you can't really control your emotions, but you can just shut up. You don't have to be with that person. The mistress' ex-husband, who we'll call Henry, has been best friends of my mom's throughout the legal cases. I hear the mistress still reaching out forgiveness out of him, which I honestly think is very funny, since my dad is doing the exact same thing. She was financially dependent on Henry, and my dad isn't making enough at his job to support the lifestyle she wants. Suck it. Okay. Yesterday, Henry asked me to ask my mom to come out to lunch with him. They've been sad, and I hope they get together. They'll be tea together, okay? Okay. I'm predicting that, okay, guys? I've been sad, shut-ins for the past few days, and agreed to get some fresh air. I've encouraged my mom to do such and call me if dad or the mistress decide to show their face my dad decides to show his face just so I could pick her up. My dad hasn't apologized to me at all about reading my mail. In fact, he's calling me and my voicemail telling me that this whole situation was my fault. There was crying, saying he regrets everything, but he hopes he can still be my dad. Same. My dad did the same. Okay. I'm just ignoring him right now. I don't know if there's another update, but I will still give an update if something major happens. And thank you so much for your support and comments. I hope some of what I said clears things up for y'all. Second update. Hey guys, it's been a full year since this happened, and I wanted to update you guys. A few months ago, my mom grabbed me and my younger sister Rachel and talked about the interest of possibly going on a date. I predicted it. Pause. I think I'm gonna date with Henry. Okay. We're thrilled. They've been dating for almost a year, and I'm happy for them. Henry treats my mom with way more respect. My father, her. She glows with joy whenever he's around. Our biological father was putting more mental strain on her than we thought. She went from being shy, soft-spoken, to a strong, confident woman, and couldn't be happier. That's so sweet. Okay. As for our father and her mistress, Martha, Jerry and his mistress, Martha, they've gotten married immediately after my mother, I'll call Rayan, and Henry, right after my mother, I'll call Regan and Hanley. I didn't speak to Jerry on any other occasions than how I was doing or asked me for some cash. After they got married, neither family supported their marriage. They got black sheeped respectfully. They tried to sue for cash and fell through. They tried to the OP's mom, or the OP's dad, bio dad, tried to sue homegirl's mom because for mental strain, in Reagan's and Harry's favor. They stopped talking to him fully when he spent about a month harassing my sister for cash and calling her repeatedly, texting her and showing up to her college. Oh my god. To the point where Dean had to get him escorted off the campus. That's when my mom got us harassment protection order, so we can now, Jerry can only contact us when he wants to meet us, which is something rare for a medical emergency. My sister and I haven't heard from him since. Get it, queen. That didn't stop Martha though. Turns out the reason my dad was hounding for cash was because he got her pregnant. She expensive everything, and Jerry pulls everything out of his butt to satisfy her. Martha was ending up being the one harassing my sister until she demanded to speak to Harry and left the poor pregnant lady with nothing. Henry was the man that took no BS. He opened the door, looked at Martha dead in the eyes, and told her, "Was it not cruel to cheat on your when he provided you mansions, designer bags, nice cars, trips, and loved the world? You have no right to call me back after everything you've used me for, and you're lucky I didn't demand any money back." He should have shut the door on Martha and ended up shutting the door on Martha and throwing a huge fit. Even faked her water breaking with a water bottle. The police escorted her to the hospital, and luckily we were able to show them everything through the Ring doorbell. Thank you everyone to support my story, and hope none of you guys went through a mess like me. Gonna place that there very politely. I'm so happy. They got married like I wanted, or not married, but they're dating like I want. Yes. I'm so happy. You don't understand, because I was like, they would literally be so good together, because if you think about it, like, they both have trust issues about the same thing, and so they, like, basically know each other wouldn't do it because they know how it feels. Like, that's so freaking sweet. So sweet. Get it, queen. Get it, queen. Get it, queen. Okay, guys. I guess this is it. Thank you guys for staying in here and chatting with me on my first ever reading Reddit stories. I think it was pretty fun. If y'all want me to do this again, comment, say, or just give your opinions, honestly. Like, not even really engagement purposes, but like just tell me if you liked being here with me. Or you could just give the video a like, I don't know. If you're actually like, I don't want to give you any. Or like, if you hate the video, just thumbs it down, I guess. I don't know. I just want like actual like people to be like, no, this sucked, no, this was good, no, this sucked, this was good, you know? Like, I actually want like proper feedback, and if there's like anything I can improve on, like microphone, I can't afford a microphone right now, but lights, microphone, stuff like that, I would appreciate that. So, mwah.